Hello everybody. I am just now getting ready to start this week's video. Today being Tuesday, and I usually like to get these things posted on either a Saturday night or a Sunday, so I'm slightly behind. What I'm doing this week is I've got several craft shows coming up. It is the end of October right now, and for those that do craft shows, you know that you need to start your Christmas and holiday stuff early. So if you're just now starting at the end of October, you may be a little bit behind. It does feel a little bit weird, but it is what it is. So I'm going to be doing something that is Christmas related. So let me show you what we're doing today. So what we're doing is I have this piece here. This is one of those fence posts, and it's a 6-inch fence post that was taken from my father-in-law's old fence that he tore down. This one here, I believe, is maybe a 3.5-inch, 4-inch. I'll bet it's a 4-inch. More like a 3.5-inch fence post. Yeah, let's go 3.5. That's perfect. But it's a lot thinner. This one was from my neighbor, so this is about 5/8 of an inch thick, whereas this one's about 1/4 of an inch thick. And so I had cut off a piece of it and got these little sections here. And really all I did was, and I'm not going to get this in the right order, but we'll put this back together and pretend like we know what we're doing. So this would have been that fence post pre-cut, prior to me cutting it. So as you can see, that fits right on top. All I did is I cut it right down the middle, and then I cut out, I've got 4 sections out of it. These are all the same. These are about 5 inches by 2.5. And your sizes are not all that important. If you want to follow along exactly, I'll try to remember to throw in sizes. If I forget, please message me. Put something in the comments, but I'll try to do that. What we're going to make is we're going to make a nativity scene. And what I'm doing is this one's going to be small. It's not going to be huge. We're going to have these as the sides, like so, and a roof on top, like that. And then we're going to have a back on it. And then we're going to put 3 figures in there. I'm going to put Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus. Now, that kind of looks kind of funny, just sitting in the way that is right now. These are not going to be as tall as they are here. We are going to cut these at a bit of an angle right along there, just like you see. And then we'll put the roof on that way. This thinner piece is going to be cut in half. And that's going to be 2 backer boards that are going to go behind. And then we'll cut the figures from this piece here. That seems to be thick enough that it should stand. I'm going to want to be able to stand up the individual figures just like you see right there. So let me go over to my bandsaw. I want to cut this at an angle so that we have that right angle. And then I could figure out, not a right angle, so we have the correct angle. And then I will figure out how wide I need to make this board. So give me a moment, and I'll be right back with these pieces. All right, so as you can see, I've got this done. I've got the angles. Again, I don't know what angle that is. Your call. You make it whatever angle you wish to do. You can also make it taller or shorter. I like where I am with this right now, so I'm going to leave that angle right where it is. I'm going to leave the height right where it is. I like that. What I'm going to do next is I know that we have 5 inches from here to here, so I'm going to take this thinner board, cut it into a 5-inch length. I'm going to do 2 because I am making 2 of these. I've got enough material here to make 2. And then I'm going to cut it in half, and you'll see why I do that. And then we'll have the manger done. Just a matter of gluing it up. I'll put some brad nails in and let it dry. What I'll have left to do then are the figures. and we'll go into that here in a moment. So let me go ahead and cut those down. Okay, so one thing I want to do is I want to kind of sand these edges just a bit, just to make them look a little bit nicer, just not so rough. That way, I mean, I'm going to need to do it again once this is all put together. Another thing you'll notice is I've saved these cutoffs from these, and the reason I've done that is these are going to be the figures, or at least some of the figures. I have 4 of these, so that gives me 2 Marys, 2 Josephs, and I will need to use this board here in order to get the baby Jesus in the crib for that one. So let me go do a real quick sand, and we'll come right back. Okay, so everything's sanded. So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to decide which of these pieces I like to show outward. And so what I'm doing is I'm kind of choosing those and getting them in position so that they go like this. And I've chosen the floor style I like on that one. I'm going to go with this for the top. Just I like that. I like the way that looks. So the first thing I'll do, though, is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put some glue down on both of these. And this is end grain, of course, so you know how that works. It's probably not going to be the best, but not super concerned here because I do have this piece right here that I'm going to go ahead and put on here. Get it lined up as best I can. Again, instead of using clamps, I'm going to put one of these nails in here. Shoot brad nail in, and that's going to do the trick to hold it into place. And again, we're going to take this one, and again, I want to keep it on the back end. Not sure if we're able to see this or not, but with the back, I'm kind of making it line up back here, so it's nice against the back, and I'll have a little bit of an overhang in the front, and I'm okay with that. And then we'll go ahead and put a single shot in here, like so. You can see I'm shooting it down a little bit far. See if I can bring it up some. Getting a little bit of a mark there. All right, so now I'm going to put the base on. Perfect. So we'll go ahead and we'll get the glue in and make it nice and smooth. Get this spread out across here. And then we're going to go ahead and we want this to be the floor, so I'll flip that over, and again we want it to overhang just a little bit in the front, so make sure I'm level and even in the back, and then again shoot a couple of nails in. And so what that did, that just tore that up, so I will have to glue this piece back in here. I'll get that to the back again. That was a knot, it was completely dried out. All right, see if I can find all my pieces. All right, so there it is. We've got a little bit of an overhang, top and bottom. It's very rustic. We're okay, rustic's okay. All right, so what I'll do now is I'm gonna flip this on the back, and these pieces are gonna go like this across the back, like so. And what you're doing here is you're just leaving a little bit of a spot inside. And that way, if you decide you want a light back there of some sort, you'll have just a little bit of a glow coming through here. If not, it's quite all right. No big deal if you don't. So again, we're going to go ahead and put our glue, a little bit of glue here, throw our nails in, and that's going to hold it. Stick this here, and get us a couple of nails. I'm not going to do too many. Just want a couple nails. The glue is going to hold this. This is an outdoor glue. This is just type on 2. it is just, you know, your normal type on glue. It's going to do perfect for this. We don't need too much to worry about. It's not like it's going to be soaking wet. At least you hope it's not. Unless you probably have cats, then you could have that problem. And that's all there is to it. All right. We now have a manger. It's complete. It's done. It's ready. We'll let this glue all dry. We'll get things cleaned up. We'll get a light sand in the corners around the edges where the glue might have came out. And then we'll just put a finish coat on it. And this thing is done and ready to go. And I'll come back here in a moment and we'll get these little figurines done. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and start cutting out the figures. What I'm going to do is, because I'm making 2 of these, and let me show you here. Hang on one second. So as we can see, I do have two of these made and ready to go. So now I want to get the figures in there. And so that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to be doing a set of 2. Obviously, like I said, I like the batch. Okay, so we're going to do a set of 2. So I have these pieces right here. These are the cutoffs, obviously, from the other. I cut this off to do the crib with baby Jesus. So we're going to do, again, 2 of those. So we'll be taping these together and then doing 1 cutout on the scroll saw in order to get these figures cut, and that way they'll also fit, because what I'll do is on here I will do the circle for the head and I'll do the body. And again, these are super simple shapes, but you're gonna know what they are. So let me get these taped together and get my cameras all set up and we'll get started. So as most of you are aware, what I like to do is I will take some painter's tape and I will tape these pieces together to give me a nice solid base kind of to work from, so it's not sliding around as I'm trying to cut it. So I'll go ahead and put some tape on like so and get it all put together. Now what I'll do next is I want to do the body, but I need to figure out the height. All right, so I don't want this to be too high in here. I don't want these to be massive figures. So I only want the head to come up to about here on this. So I'm going to draw just a circle for the head and then just this kind of shape for the body. Like I said, super duper simple. All right, and then when we put it in here, we can see that it's not going to be huge in here, if we can see. Yeah, so it's not going to be that big in there. So we're just going to do that for our body. Now what we want to do then too is we want to get the other set of 2 taped up and get those. So I'll get them taped up, then I'll come right back and we'll go ahead and start cutting. All right, so here we can see all 3 of these are ready. Made one shorter than the other. Now, not going to try to be sexist. That can be Mary or that can be Joseph. We don't know. So you get to choose, but for effect, I wanted one a little bigger than the other. So we have the little guys or gals already done. So let me go ahead and I will cut the other ones and get those also ready to go. And I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so there they are. These are now done and in place. Nothing's glued down. I have to still glue the heads to the bodies I'm probably going to make the baby Jesus head a little smaller. It feels too big for me. I want to round out the heads on Mary and Joseph a little bit better. Do some edge sanding just to make things feel a little smoother. And those pieces will then get glued together. Now they will not be glued to the floor of the manger. You'll be able to make the adjustments with them and put them in there where you want. However you want. And that way, if you decide, hey, I want to put a little bit of some fake straw in there or something along those lines, you can certainly do just that. So I will go ahead and we'll get some sanding done and move on to the finished portion of it. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and do our finish coat on this. We're going to use some polyacrylic on here from Minwax. This is the clear satin that we're using. I'm going to do each of these individual figurines as well. They just need a quick coat. This is the reason I like this stuff a lot is it has a super nice finish when it's done. It looks really good, and it has no real smell to it. It doesn't stink. You can use it in a confined space. It's also water soluble, which means it's water cleanup. All right, here we go for the manger. Let's go ahead and get inside, get that all done. Now you'll notice this one had a bit of a blowout when I was doing the nailer, putting the brad nails in. It blew out this entire piece right here. And you know, I don't care. I think it's okay. It gives it still this rustic kind of look to it. So if we're looking to be perfect and you don't like this, then just, you know, this is one you just won't sell at a craft show or give away as a gift. You keep it as for yourself. However, this entire piece is really all rustic. So the reality is you're going to have imperfections here, and that's okay. That's what these things are, is they're all imperfect, which make them perfect in the end. All right, let's do the last part here. Let's get the roof done, get that all finished up, let this stuff dry. It doesn't take long. This probably takes maybe really 20 minutes to give you a nice shine, nice finish, and to look good. Now, as I've always said, you can go ahead and take some craft paper or something and buff this out once it's dry. You can take a Scotch-Brite, one of those green pads, and buff it up that way and put another coat on it. Typically, I'm a one coat kind of guy because I'm usually in a hurry, and I think the one coat does a nice job. So let's wait until this dries and we'll get back to it. All right, everybody, there we are. We have a finished piece. This is all done and ready to go. It's got the finish on it. So this one's good. I'm really loving the way this thing has turned out. Super happy with it, and I hope you are too, and I hope somebody is happy enough to purchase it. So as you can see, we do have this finished. It's ready to go, but I wanted to show you another example of how these can be. So I've done another one here. You can see I have them side by side. I did one. This one's got the chipped paint on it. I didn't do anything to the wood at all, other than put a finish on it. I'll throw up a picture in there so you can see what it looks like. Also, I did get some footage. You're going to see it here shortly. It's going to be at the end of this. It's going to be of someone professionally painting it for me, a professional artist, I should say, doing some finishing touches on one of these pieces. So a little extra bonus for you in this video. Thank you all so much for watching, subscribing, liking, sharing, all the stuff you do. It's very much appreciated. So have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you guys all next week.